Hi everyone, it's Sharon. I'm back with another video for CraftStash, and today I've got these lovely dies and stamps from the Creative range. This is the Nesting Snowman dies, and then there's a matching stamp set. You can use them independently or together. They really work well, and I'll show you later that the stamp set has got lots of other possibilities beyond the snowman as well. But I thought what I'd do to begin with is use them together and create a snowman using the largest of the nesting dies, and then I'm going to use some of the elements from the stamp set to put a snowman together. So I've grabbed the largest of the nesting dies and I'm running that through my platinum die cutting machine. I've just got some plain white cardstock here, and that gives me the outline for my snowman. This is the largest of the snowmen. You'll see on the stamp set you've got all different sizes of everything, so that if you were to use one of the smaller nesting dies, you've got a face for that size of the head. Gives you all the possibilities to sort of mix and match, or you could put different size snowmen next to each other. You've also got two different hats. The one I'm using here is one that has a matching die in the set, so I thought I'd use that one. And then the face I'm using here is the largest of the three that are in the stamp set, and you can see that carrot just kind of goes off the edge a little. So what I'm going to do is stamp that again on a piece of scrap card, and then I can fussy cut out the nose and layer that on, just paper piece it together. And I'll do the same. I'm going to use the scarf. I'll do that on a separate piece of card as well, so that I can fussy cut it and put that on top. And then again with the buttons, you've got three different sizes. I'm going to use, I think I've got the middle one here. Yeah, I've gone for the middle size for this one. You could use all three on one and have them sort of starting small and getting larger, but I've decided to use the same size for this particular one. And I'm just stamping these in black ink. This is Memento Tuxedo black ink. You can use any ink really. For the elements that I'm stamping off on other pieces that I'm going to paper piece, I'm going to use alcohol markers with those. That's why I'm using a Memento ink. But for these buttons I could use anything, because I'm not going to colour this snowman. And the next element is the scarf, and again I'm just going to use a bit of leftover card to stamp this on, so that I can fussy cut it and layer it on top. And I'm ready to colour these in now. I'm using Copic markers. You could use any alcohol markers for this, or you could even use watercolours if you use a different ink. Because I'm going to be fussy cutting these, I don't need to stay within the lines, so I can just be quite quick with colouring these. And because they're quite small elements, I'm not going to worry about shading. The only shading I'm going to do is a tiny bit really. I've just got two different browns for the hat and two different reds for the scarf, but beyond that I'm just going to use one colour. That orange on the carrot is just one colour. The elements are quite small, so I don't think you need to go mad. And just a tiny bit of shade, like I'm doing here on the hat with a darker shade, is just enough to give it a bit of depth. So I'm just blending those colours together, and that's the hat done. And then the scarf, as I said, I've just got two shades, so I can really roughly colour over with the lightest of the two, and then just add a little bit of shading with a darker red, and that's all I'm going to do. And then I will fussy cut these elements out, and then I can see how they look on the snowman. So I'm just laying them on top to see how it all looks. And at this point I think I need to add some arms as well. So I'm going to quickly grab the middle size of the three different sets of arms, twig arms. And I've grabbed a brown marker. I'm not going to do any shading on these, they're really small. And as you can see, I'm not worrying about colouring them properly. So I fussy cut those out and popped them on, and I'm quite happy with him now. So for the next step, I just need to work out how I want to put him on a card. I've grabbed a square craft card and then I've cut a piece of white card that's just slightly smaller. I think the card is 15 centimetres squared and this white piece is 14 centimetres squared. And I'm just roughly adding some distress ink with an ink smoothie blender. I don't want this to be nicely blended, I want it to be a bit splotchy. So I'm just doing this quite quickly and I'm not going to keep going over it to get a nice smooth blend. I'm just going to get some colour down. Because this is a sky, I kind of want it to be a bit splotchy so that it looks cloudy. And then to make it even more interesting and a bit, well, more splotchy I suppose, I've added some water with a paper and then a paper towel just to take some of the colour out. And that gives me the kind of cloud-like look that I'm after. And with the craft in the background, that just gives it a nice border. Now in this set there's also a couple of nice snowflakes, so I thought to make it look more wintry, I'm going to stamp in the same distress ink. This is tumbled glass. I'm just going to stamp the snowflake all over the background. And then I can start to put this together. And I want to pop a greeting as well, and also there's a really useful sort of snowy border, there's a couple actually, kind of snowy mounds which would look great underneath the snowman. And I thought if I stamp this in the same distress ink, it will look more snow-like than if I do it in a dark colour. So I'm going to fussy cut that out. And as you can see, that gives a nice little kind of snow drift at the bottom. And I had my camera off, but I've quickly stamped a greeting as well. One of the, you get a few nice greetings in this set. And because of the snow, I've gone for Let It Snow. And I'll just peel the backing tape off and pop this on the card front. And then I can assemble the snowman. I'll just put some double-sided tape on the snowman because I want that to be flat. Just peel the backing tape off. And this large snowman is just the right size for this card blank. And then I'll use some glue for the snowdrift at the bottom. And that's great. It just grounds the snowman so he doesn't look like he's floating. So it's a really useful stamp. And I'm slightly off camera there, but I'm just popping a bit of glue on all of these elements. I love the fact that with this snowman you can really dress him up how you want, and having the stamps to match just means that you can really you know, be quite imaginative with the colouring as well. I've gone for quite plain colours here, but the scarf would look great with a few different colours. And just as a finishing touch, I thought I'd add some Tonic Nouveau crystal drops to just around the greeting. And I've got a gloss white, and then I've got one of the jewel drops which are more translucent in it's Sea Breeze, this colour. It's a very pale blue. I thought it would look more snow-like to go with white and blue. And that's this card finished. I thought for my second card, rather than do another snowman, I would show you that you can really do quite a lot more with this stamp set. And I thought I'd show a quick and simple card, but just using one of the greetings and then the circle that's supposed to be the snowball, the largest of the snowballs for creating the snowman. So I thought I'd just show a different way of using it. So I'm stamping one of the greetings in black VersaFine Onyx Black. And now I've grabbed this large circle and I'm using a brown. This is Versafine Vintage Sepia. And as you can see, the circle isn't perfect. It's meant to look like a kind of hand-drawn. So it means that if I slightly turn this, I can get a different, it's not straight on top of the one I've already done. So I'm going to do this 3 times, and I think with the brown that gives me a nice sort of wreath look. So as I said, this is a really quick and simple card. I've grabbed some Tonic Nouveau crystals, and I'm going to create some baubles with these all around my wreath. So I'll just work my way around with each colour. I've got 3 colours here. I've got the bright blue, a sort of magenta pink, and then a purple. I thought I'd use more non-traditional colours. And then once I've gone round and added drops all the way around, I can put this aside to dry. And that's my card done. I hope you've enjoyed this video and it's given you a few different ideas for this set, as well as for the beautiful snowmen that it's designed for. You can find all the details on the CraftStash blog, which is www.craftstash.co.uk. Thanks for watching, and hopefully I'll see you soon. Bye.